Hi everybody, welcome back to Happy Apple Core Homestead. Today we are going to be making lemon curd. We're going to make it and then we're going to can it because that way we can enjoy it for days to come. Make sure you stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you a couple pro tips you're not going to want to miss. Alright, let's get started. I'm going to be doing a double batch today, but the recipe will be down in the description box for you. A single recipe, just the standard recipe, which by the way, this one is a tested and safe recipe, not just tested by me. The standard recipe will give you about 4 half pints, so just for reference. We're gonna double it up, so I've got 2 piles of eggs here. I've got 14 eggs that are gonna be separated out into yolks, so I'll put the whites here and I don't know, like make an angel food cake later. And then we need 8 whole eggs. So the first thing I'm gonna do before I get into everything else is just get these eggs cracked and separated, and then we will go on to the next step. Now that the separating has been done, you might notice that I have this bowl of eggshells, and I keep them. And when the bowl is full, I put them in the oven and I bake them. You can use eggshells in your garden. You can bake them, crush them, and feed them back to your hens for calcium, especially right now when oyster shell is very expensive and a little bit hard to find. So anyway, that's what this is. And the egg whites are gonna go in the fridge. At this point in the game, you should have already washed your jars and your rings and your lids and have them ready. Some people like to keep their jars hot or take them out of the dishwasher right after a cycle. I don't. They're on the counter, they're totally clean. I'm gonna use them like that, room temperature. And also my canner, which is over there, it doesn't have any water in it yet, and a very important thing is when you're getting ready to can this, you don't want your water to be over 180 degrees. Mine's just going to be room temperature and it will be fine. So whisk up your eggs. Alright, once your eggs are whisked, you're going to put them into a very large bowl. I'm using that pot over there. It's got about 2 inches of water or so in the bottom, and this bowl fits right on top of it. You want enough water in the bottom so that it won't boil away in 20 minutes or so, but not enough that it can touch the bottom of your bowl. That will be sufficient heat to cook this prior to canning. So that said, I'm gonna go turn the stove on. And into the big bowl it goes. Now for the easy part. We're just gonna add the rest of the ingredients, starting with the sugar. And I have, actually, you know what? If you've watched my videos, you know that I never actually can with sugar. I always use honey. But because it's my daughter's anniversary coming up and this is one of her favorites, I'm gonna just do it, the normal way. Alright, 5 cups of sugar in it. Well, my camera decided to reboot itself right in mid-sugar. Anyways, here we go, 5 cups. This is a 2-cup measuring device. Okay, 5 cups, and you're going to want to mix this in really well before adding any of the other ingredients. Probably a bigger whisk also might be good advice. Alright, this looks lovely. It's nice and smooth. So now we're going to put in the lemon juice, and we need 2 cups of lemon juice. This jar is 15 ounces, just a little bit shy. All right, that's perfect. And in goes the lemon juice. You can also use lime juice if you prefer it, or if that's what you have. Mix it up really well until it's smooth. All right, that's pretty mixed in. I'm gonna clean up my workspace a little bit and we'll get on to the next step, which is 1.5 cups of butter. Now my workspace is clean. It always feels good to clean as I go. This is cold butter, and we're just going to cut it up into smaller pieces and right into the bowl it goes. The butter's in, the pan on the stove is hot, so let's just move on over there. At this point, there's water in the bottom of the pan that's boiling lightly, and we want it to just go ahead and simmer. We don't want it, too hot. And then you're just going to stir pretty continuously. I'm using silicone spatula. You can use a wooden spoon if you like. And we're just going to gently stir it until it reaches a temperature of 170 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and stir this for a while, and then I will come back and show you the progress. It's coming along nicely. It's only been about 10 minutes, but the temperature is up to 128 degrees. I'm just going to keep stirring it until that temperature comes all the way up. You can see how the texture and the color is starting to change. It's at about 150 degrees now, and it's been, I don't know, not more than 20 minutes, probably more like 15. So it's almost done. And as soon as this reaches 170 degrees, we're going to take it off of the double boiler onto the counter, and make sure you use a towel or something to protect your countertop because this is going to be super hot. Don't forget your oven mitts. And we're going to continue to stir it after that for 5 more minutes until it thickens. And then it will be time to fill the jars. Yay! It's at 170 degrees, and we're just going to take this bowl off of the pot. I'm going to use this to protect my counter. My handy dandy mitts. And watch for the steam too. I'm going to set a 5-minute timer, and we're just going to whisk away for 5 minutes until it starts to thicken, and then we'll go to the next step. The 5-minute timer went off, and this has started to thicken a little bit. It's not super thick yet, but don't worry, it will get there. What we want to do now is strain it through a fine mesh sieve. This is particularly important if you chose to use any lemon zest, but it's also important just because those little danglies on the egg whites, they cook up, and then they're a little chunky. So this will just make the texture really nice and smooth. I think I want to use something to help me get it in there. So I'll bring this a little closer to you so you can see like all of the stuff. So that's why you want to filter it out. There's all kinds of little cooked bits and a couple of little tiny blood spots, which are really common. All right, now it's time to fill the jars. So we're gonna head back over there and get started. I'll be right back. We are ready to put the lemon curd into jars. And over here, I have my canner. Yes, it is a pressure canner, but I'm using it as a water bath canner today. There's water inside, enough to cover the jars. You want enough water to cover your jars by, 1 to 2 inches, enough so that as the water's boiling, it doesn't ever go below the top of the jars. I also have a funnel and a wet paper towel to clean the rims. And over here are all of the clean jars and the lids and the rings. And just up here, attached to my microwave right there, I have my bubble popper. Let's get started. And then you will ladle the lemon curd right into your jar, leaving a 1/2 inch headspace. Ooh, that might be too much. I think I got a little too excited there. I'm going to take just a little bit out. Okay, and once your jar is full, you take your wet paper towel and just wipe down the rim. Well, actually, that's a lie. It's probably easier, probably smarter to run your bubble popper through first, because chances are you're going to drip on your rim. All right, now clean your rim. It's important to clean the rim so that your lids seal properly. Okay, grab your lid and your ring. Okay, and then you can either put it right into your canner now, or you can set it aside and put them all in at the same time. When you put your ring on, just finger tight, so don't wrench it down. Well, I have filled all of my jars, but I still have quite a bit left, so I'm gonna go get some more jars. I'll be right back. All right, I got 4 more jars and lids and rings all ready to go. That's all that my canner will fit, so we'll see. We'll see if we can use it all. Let's get the jars in the canner. I did put my canner on low, but it's definitely not at 180 degrees. So as long as it's below that, you're good to go. Looks like I may need to add more water, but I'm going to put them all in and see how much the water raises first. So actually my canner is full. I'll show you. I thought I had room for 1 extra jar, but I don't. She's full. All right, it's full. I'm gonna crank the heat all the way up to high. We're gonna bring this up to a full rolling boil. When it gets there, I'll be back. This is a really nice rolling boil. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on at this point and start the 15-minute timer. Okay, we'll see you back in 15 minutes. Okay, the timer's gone off and I'm gonna take the canner off the burner. Don't forget your mitts. It's gonna be hot. I'm just gonna slide it over. Well, not really slide it. You wanna pick it up a little, especially if you have a glass top stove like I do. And then I'm just gonna take the lid off. And I'm gonna set a 5-minute timer. And then we'll unload the canner. The timer's gone off. It's been 5 minutes, maybe more than 5 minutes, but shh. We're gonna take these out of the canner and put them on a towel. You wanna protect your counter. Well, that's all there is to it for now. Don't worry about the water on the tops of the lids. Those will evaporate on their own really easily. We're just gonna let these sit here for about 12 hours and I will see you tomorrow. Hi friends, it's the next day and here we have our lemon curd. All but one sealed, and the way you can tell if they're sealed is just press on the top. If it doesn't pop back at you, then it's sealed. I also like to take the rings off and just kind of grasp it by the lid, and if it doesn't come off, you're good to go. Make sure that you take a paper towel and just clean the rims and make sure that there's nothing gross and sticky on there. And there you go. Put a label on it and they're ready to store. I have my labels pre-printed. I use a dissolvable label that comes off really easy in water. And there we go. It's got the date on it and everything. And I like to store mine without the rings on, so they will go into the cabinet just like this. That's all there is to it. And now I've got a couple of life hack pro tips for you with the lemon curd. So a lot of people really prefer to use like a lemon zest or a lime zest inside. I don't, it's just my preference, but it will add a really nice, sharp, citrusy flavor. And when you use it for your lemon curd, when you get your sugar ready, instead of pouring your sugar directly into your bowl, you're gonna wanna put your lemon zest and mix it in with the sugar and let that sit for about 30 minutes. That will help the sugar to really absorb those citrus oils. And then when you do the straining later, all the little chunks and everything will come out. So you'll still have a very nice, smooth curd. And last but not least, life hack. If you do not have superfine sugar, like I used in this recipe, and which the recipe calls for, you can take your regular granulated sugar and run it through your food processor, and then you will have easy superfine sugar. Thank you so much everybody for watching this video. I hope it was helpful and will be useful to you in the future. Please do support my channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, you know the jazz. So looking forward to hearing from all of you soon, and I hope you all have a really great day. Bye!